Man, this man has had consistency from day one. Have to be.
I already know it.
Come on, man. He was somebody I liked before I met him.
Yep.
Primarily because he made music that I could relate to. And one that letter to my son to this day.
Man.
Oh my God, I know he gets tired of me talking about that song, but some people have those songs that become that milestone in their career.
Mm-hmm. True that.
There's people who have had 30-year careers off of one song.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? But there's people who've been in the game 30 years that never made that one song.
Right.
True.
But do you also remember the responses that we get from our callers, our road warriors, every time we play that song that they call up?
Yeah.
Some fans, some just hearing of Don for the first time is like, yo, what is that song? I need that. Who made that song? The response has always been crazy.
He been consistent. Don't say nothing yet, man. Don't say nothing, man.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
Walk
it up. Walk it up.
Don't do that. This man been consistent since The Threat. Before that, what I loved about him, he traveled at God's speed. Had to be. We watched him work. He didn't do it by himself. He had stepbrothers too that he rocked with. Okay, he tell you about the people that surround you, family members. The man said they said blood is thicker than water. If that's the truth, then he's anemic. This dude says this shit in the rhyme. But it's so real. The way he's expressed himself over the years. This year long, he put out 9 projects. Give that man a big round of applause for that. Okay, we started our show off today talking about autonomy, talking about ownership, talking about independence. Small business owners called in all day long. This man is a big business owner.
Indeed.
He's in the business of himself.
True that.
Come on. Aren't we all? I want to salute him. Memphis's finest. And as much as Memphis goes through and has gone through, this man has been a beacon of light through it all. And I appreciate him. I love this man. I'm happy to see him. Please welcome back to the show, the one and only Don Trip.
Let's go.
Come on, man. You trying to interrupt your guy, man. Let me speak my piece, man. You crying, Don crying.
Oh man. You know this space means something to me.
Yeah.
You know, when we set out to do the promo run, you know, every time I gotta come see Sway and Heather, no matter what we're doing, no matter how we spending it, I gotta come see Sway and Heather. So, you know, it's a different you've been in this longer than me, so you know, genuine love is rare. It's you know, it's very uncommon, and when you find it, it's like mining for a diamond. When you do find it, the jeweler's the last person you go see for it. You want to hold on to that. You want to cherish that, and you know, I treat the people that support me, that show me love without incentives. You don't make nothing from rocking with me. You know, same for you, and you know, that means something to me. You ain't doing it because it's an end game to it. You're doing it because it's genuinely, that's just how you feel. And, you know, that means more to me than everything. Like you just said, you know, blood ain't, you know, in my world, blood ain't thicker than water. It's, you know, it's people I've known my whole life that, you know, didn't care about me until my name was Don Trip. You know, Christopher Wallace existed for that whole time. And I was nobody. I was just, you know, a family member. Then I became, oh, hey, cousin, favorite cousin, and, you know. But either way,
that's interesting, though. Yeah, that's you talk about that in Mama's Revenge, right?
Yeah, indeed.
You get into the family dynamics and how it changes. It's interesting to me because I feel like we got to figure something out with that, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And, you know, that's when, you know, certain things in life, you really can't, you know, you're only one person. There's no way you're going to rewrite the book. So for me, my focus be to make sure I'm that example for my kids. Like, nothing's wrong with not bonding with somebody. Yeah, it's just, it's life. It's people here I just met. I'm not going to pretend like we're best friends. And, you know, it go the same way in family. Like, you know, the people that you grew up with, those people that's in your house, the people that you love, the people that's been with you through thick, thin, and otherwise, those are people you're supposed to attach to. And I teach my kids not to physically fight. We're going to fight. We're going to argue. But the last thing you should want to do is harm the person you actually love. Because, I mean, you know, in real life, if, you know, we rocking. So when we get that heated that we're going to get physical, I'm trying to hurt you in the worst way, and same for you. So how do we sit with each other and, you know, we just gave each other black eyes? You know, we're going to sit and both feel guilty for what we just did. But to keep you from that space, you know, I teach my children that, you know, arguing is fine. But, you know, it's a whole world full of people ready to kick your ass. Don't help them.
Don't help them, right? Man, I love this. Don Tripp. How do you deal recently with success? You know, obviously comes a lot of energy, family members, friends, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Relationships seem to be a lot closer than you thought they were all of a sudden.
Right, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
And people were having this conversation about Jay-Z not loaning a family member over about close to $5,000. And they're like, well, why not? And
I ain't giving you shit. Man, listen, since the first check I ever received from something substantial, I won't go too far.
Yeah.
But, you know, since the first time I received a check I could help people with, I learned that so very fast what you thought was help becomes hindrance. You know, you be in a bind and I come through, yeah, man, I got you. I know you need whatever. And, you know, I'd say 90% of the people you know go out your way to help, now they depend on it. Now it's, you know, last month you was short on your rent because you had to take care of things. You know, your car broke down or something. Come this month, now it's, well, you know, my rent costs $100. I got 50. I know Tripp can give me 50. That ain't how this really work.
Yeah.
And that's what happens, you know, and before you know it, you know, you helping because you love this, you know, you love these people or you love that person. And before you know it, you know, you start feeling like, you know, you're being taken advantage of. And in reality, sometimes I don't think they even noticed that that's what they're doing. They just started, you know, they felt like they caught a break.
Yeah.
And, you know, just about everything, like, you know, in the life of crime, what get people caught most times is you don't know when to stop.
Yeah.
You don't know that you being greedy now. You robbed one bank and you got away with it. Now you think you're a bank robber. Now you rob banks. Eventually, you know, that shit gonna catch. And, you know, life worked the same way. You know, you help that one person, and now that person starts to depend on your help. Now, all people don't function this way. You know, you got people that you help that person and they never forget it. They, you know, they hold that shit dear. Like, you know, no matter what, whatever you need, I got you. It's people that got you for life because you helped them that one time.
Yeah.
And you don't know what they were going through mentally in that space. But, you know, those people appreciate it. And it's crazy because that's what make you help people, because it may turn out that way.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you're going to run at it 10 times and it happens one time. And the other 9 times, you got 9 people calling you, you know, on a regular basis.
Non-enablers. You just enable them.
Right.
Yeah.
9 new dependents. And
exactly.
You already got kids. How many kids you got now?
I got 8.
Yeah.
I got 6 biological and 2 bonus.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, I got to feed 8 kids, man. Your car broke down. You better get your ass on the bus.
Come on. Call Uber.
Carpool with somebody that work with you. I got shit to do.
Yeah.
I mean, in real time, this is how I always look at it. If you can't pay your rent or, you know, whatever it is you can't take care of, you expect me to fill in for you. But where you at come Christmas in my house, that's 8 kids. I don't see you. If I can't do it, ain't gonna be nobody gonna come to my rescue and say, hey, man, I got you and your 8 kids and your wife. I got you. Hell yeah, what you need? No person on the planet ain't gonna happen. And, you know, as far as Jay-Z, I mean, shit, they look at it. I don't think people look at the idea of it. They look at he's a billionaire. What's fucking $4,000 to a billionaire? Well, you know, he had to get to that billion, and it took them 4,000s to get there. And if you can't, even Oprah, when Oprah gave all them fucking cars away, on TV it looked like she gave a bunch of cars away. In real life, we know people had to pay taxes on them shit. So Oprah didn't just say, hey man, here's a free $60,000 for everybody in this bitch, right? But, you know, that's how people think. People look at it like, you got it, you should be able to, you know, expend it. You know, it shouldn't be nothing to you. You got it.
Yeah.
And it don't work that way. I got it because I work for it. I'm gonna keep it. Because if I don't keep it, you ain't gonna get it.
You ain't gonna get my back.
Right. The person he loaned 4,500 to ain't gonna bring him 4,500 if you see him drop off the Forbes list. He ain't gonna say, "Oh man, I looked at the list and you like 3 people down, man. I think I got like 4,500 to give you." No, anybody got shit for you. And when that, if and when that happens, then those same people that was, begging you or felt entitled to your money gonna say, "See, he ain't know what the hell he was doing. He fucked all that money up." No, he didn't fuck the money up. You helped him fuck it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
But nobody's gonna take credit for that. That's just,
I never heard that perspective. Jeez.
Oh yeah, man.
You lose your money and they say, "Oh, he screwed it up," but you helped. You a big reason.
That's funny because that's what happened when Oprah. You brought up Oprah. She asked Hammer in an interview, "What was the most expensive thing you bought?"
MC Hammer.
Yep. What was the most expensive thing you bought? And he said, "Other people's stories."
Exactly.
He was like, I've just bought into other. They need it, made enablers, and they're not there.
I was just telling my guy.
By the way, George is here from Connect Music Group.
Indeed.
Yeah, come on, get it. That's right, right, George. What up, baby? Come on, you got a whole music group, man. I need some money from you.
Oh man. And to that point though, Trip, and Sway, one of the things that everybody took out of context with Jay's comment was, if I give you $4,500, you're gonna bring back $2 million. It doesn't work like that. I'm here to tell you, it does not work like that.
Right.
We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get to tens of millions of dollars. You don't spend $4,000 and get $2 million. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
So no, I'm not giving you that, because what you think you can do with it. That's not how markets work.
Right. You got a blurred idea of how it works. And, a lot of times you can peep that. Like I was saying, I was talking to my guy the other day, maybe like 2 days ago. And I don't know what we was talking about, but it was this. And I was like, man, I grew up with no father. So I grew up with my auntie, my big cousin, and my mama. I've seen every sob story you can sell a person. These people know how to cry on cue.
On cue.
So, when that's the last thing I'm gonna buy is the story. But I was also telling them about, MC Hammer. That's why one of the records is named Hammer Time.
Yeah.
I'm like, in real life, like, that's a person that I admire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I mean, Hammer was selling records when you had to get up out your bed, get in the car, drive, and wait in line. And that nigga was moving. He
the entertainer, bro.
Man,
stage presence.
I don't know how his feet was moving that fast.
Yeah.
But but from that, like, you can watch all them old concerts. You see, he got 800. He got more dancers up there than Beyonce got. And he just pulling his guys in. Hey man, I know you hurting in the street, man. Come hop on the road with me. You do that shit. Like I said, you keep pouring all that water out your cup, man, and you ain't putting nothing back in it. Eventually, you're gonna have an empty cup. Yeah. And Hammer's one of them people. I wish that's an interview I'm had to go look up.
Yeah.
But them the kind of people that I gravitate to. If that make any sense. Like, in some cases, I learn more from an MC Hammer than a Jay-Z. I ain't in the pocket space of neither one of them, or Hammer when he was selling fucking 80 million records, or Jay with the billionaire shit. But that's I'm in the space, I'm in the space relative to it, and those are the kind of things that happen in my world. Like we were just saying before we mentioned Hammer, you got people that pop up, and man, some people are very, very skilled at selling you a sob story.
Skilled at selling you a sob story.
Man, for real.
Wow.
But like, everybody's got a talent, and for some people that's the talent. Like, you got people you like, man, you ain't been doing shit your whole life. You ain't done nothing. You ain't good at nothing. In real life, he's good at something. He's good at being manipulative. He just don't know how to use that to his advantage. Well, he don't know how to use that in a productive manner. You got people that, we all got them. You got that family member that every time you see him, you feel sorry for him. You're like, man, like, he still ain't doing nothing, man. Jesus. And he gonna hit you with the, man, I promise, this week, come Monday, I'm gonna go look for me a job. I'm gonna drive to the store. I'm gonna sit at the bus station and wait for the bus stop. And I'm gonna get it together. You gonna see him 2 weeks from now, and we got the exact same conversation. And some people just, Like, you know, if you keep doing how I don't know how that shit really go, but if you do the same thing enough times, you gonna perfect it.
Yeah.
Exactly, they perfected it. They gonna run that side story. Don't work on you. He gonna pivot. Man, I'm gonna go get my job. You don't want to hear that shit. Hey man, I'm gonna go get a job on Monday. Somebody is about to give him $20 so he can go get whatever the fuck he really was trying to get.
He gonna catch it, right?
Right. Somebody's for to buy this story, and he gonna sell it until somebody get it. Like you see people selling in Memphis. I don't know if they do that shit in New York, but in Memphis, you know, every Sunday somebody selling a commercial appeal, the newspaper. Even though the whole world's on their phones and shit, people still buy newspapers. It's not like a like a commodity, but that person gonna sit there until he sell them newspapers. Somebody's gonna stop. Whether they stop just because they feel sorry for you sitting out here in the heat selling a roll of newspaper, or they really read newspapers. But I said that to say that kind of determination is what people have. Like they just don't have it in a productive manner.
Yeah.
Like you can use that same gumption and go get a job. You can get a job and you would be the most enthusiastic person at that job.
Yo, we just had this. Why we laughing? We were just talking about this morning.
A job.
Before we got on
Quit
air.
trying to hustle. Go get a job.
Right, because listen, that same bullshit, all right, if you gonna sit with me and sell me your side story, right, that means you good at entertaining. Your entertaining just happen to be trying to make me feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
But you can use that same entertainment and make people enthusiastic. You can go work at you can work at the bank.
Yeah.
You can be just a greeter. Hey, how's your day?
Go be a coach. Go do something.
Clearly, you're going to talk until you convince somebody to do something.
Yeah.
Shit, you know how many people going to open up accounts because you convinced them to open up a bank account? But you ain't doing that. Instead, you begging. And, if you can only use your powers for good,
I love it. Don Tripp is here, man. I'm going to play Mama's Revenge. Because it says all of this in one song.
Let's go.
And I love it. 888-742-3345. Don Tripp.
Yeah.
As always, this man been dropping gems since the first time you came up here. I remember you told us about not having a father, but we got real close because our stories are similar in many ways.
True that.
And then years later, here you are. You got your partner George here. Talk to me about Connect. You guys are partners in that?
Yeah, indeed, man. Like you said, I've been doing this for a long time. For a short period of my career, I was a signed artist. That ain't much work out. So, just like every man, just because plan A didn't work, don't mean we give it all up. It's time to plan B, plan C till you get to plan Z. So, I'm accustomed to working with distributors, and for the most part, when I work with distributors, it's kind of it's kind of simplified. It's just I turn a project in, they distribute it to DSPs, and that's like the basis of the relationship.
Like DistroKid and those type of companies,
right?
TuneCore, that's what it is.
Well, I never much work with those companies. I don't like the. Now I don't mean this in any. Not a knock at them in any shape, form, or fashion, but I prefer to be able to meet with people in person. So I used to distribute through a local distribution company in Memphis called Selecto Hits. And none of this is a strike against them in any shape, form, or fashion, but they more so.
Old school.
It's right, exactly.
Yeah.
And times have changed. The economy has changed. The climate of music has changed, and I was in a space I could be content and just rock with what I was doing, and it would work. But I didn't want to. I don't know how to do that. That don't much feel comfortable. You sit in the same spot in the bed, you get bed sores. So I kind of view it the same way in life. So I'm like, I want to go to the next step, but I don't want to fake it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just jump out and now we superstars and all the extra shit. You know, that it costs more money to pretend to be rich than it do to be rich. So, real shit. I mean, you know, you fully aware. You know, we signed a record label and they give me all that money and all them chains and cars and house and the interest is hidden. And then, you know, later on, I'm like, hey, man, where my money for Hoochie Coochie Bang? You know, she like, hey, man, the Cadillacs don't buy themselves. So, but either way, you know, I had got to a space where I wanted to elevate, and it just so happened I'm close friends with a producer. And, you know, he came to me, he was like, man, you know, there's people that connect, they want to sit down. I'm like, you know, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm a believer that nothing's wrong with hearing a person out. So I'm like, all right, you know, let's do it. Let's sit down. And, you know, I come meet with them. I sit down at the table. You know, they was familiar with me. We just never met. So, you know, I sit down, and they showing me numbers and shit that I should have known my whole career. But I ain't never have the access to this kind of shit.
What kind of numbers did they show? Like
the analytics. That's right. Shit.
Yeah.
Like, they showing me, like, my whole career, I always wanted to know where the audience was and what they like to listen to. Like, you know, if I'm for to go and do a show in fucking Tallahassee, I want to know what they listen to in Tallahassee. I don't want to be flying blind. We get there and we performing records. And, you know, in my head, even if you're a diehard Don Trip fan, I don't expect you to know every song. And I don't expect you to love every song. So I want to be able to pull the records that you love. How do I know this? I can't ask you personally. I can't, you know, come to the show before the show. So, you know, they showed me shit that I needed. So, you know, we sat and, you know, we had a few conversations. And, you know, the first couple conversations is just conversations. And, you know, I'm a believer in, you know, let's do it. Let's fuck it. Let's put it in motion. If it don't work, it don't work. If it worked, then shit, that's great. We learned something. And if it don't work, we learn something. So we sat, we we worked up like a quick deal for like the first tape, which was the January tape. And, you know, from that shit, they showed me shit improved. They showed improved, and I did the same. So we got back to the drawing board and said, well, you know, we got a little more going on than we assumed. So we built it on out, and man, it's been a great ride.
55 million streams this year alone. Yeah. A little better than the great ride, guys. That's a roller coaster, motherfuckers. A little better than the great ride, right?
True indeed. But but that's because, man, Connect came in, and for the first time in a very long time, I don't have to wear all the hats.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing. I get to sit and be creative. I get to, you know, not in the sense of like, you know, the kind of, you know, rappers just want to be rappers. They don't look at paperwork or nothing. They just want to be rappers. I don't mean in that sense. I'm too old for that. I got too many kids to just rap and not pay attention to what's going on. But that's what I'm saying, you know, but that's why the partnership works. Like, we get to... We treat each other like men. We don't treat each other like employees. We don't treat each other like the other person don't matter. And that's for every person in the Connect building. Right. You know, I embrace all those people like, you know, like everybody's important, because in real time, everybody is.
Yeah. That's right, Trip. Let me just add to that. You know,
this is George, man. George, what's your last name, man?
Monger.
George Monger.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So,
right.
You know,
what's your role at Connect?
I founded Connect Music in 2020 as a music distribution company.
Okay.
But we saw this paradigm shift where so much more. Distribution was get all the content you can get. I don't want to get all the content. I want to work with artists we want to work with. We want to work with people we have a relationship with, you view as a human on the other side of the table. So the first one of those, for example, we were here in June because our partner Boosie Badass, right?
Yes.
So Boo was one of those first folks hit me. We took period goal. Trip, similar situation. Endless Entertainment, bringing that catalog over, partnering with Zebo and Marcus Howe. Shout out to those guys.
True
and continuing to be hand selective in what we work with, and then having those direct relationships and deals with your streaming services and partners. We're not coming with 100,000 songs a week. We're coming with a hand-selected group with people who have their music and act together. And then what we saw was an opportunity with Black art. You know, I know we have a lot of conversation about, hip-hop is down 40%. Hip-hop is 33% of a $15 billion industry, period.
Okay.
$5 billion is us. We can own that and we can control it. Trip owns his masters.
Okay.
Trip owns his masters, right?
Indeed.
Trip, we wanted to put together his marketing plan that required capital, but we see music as an asset class. It's an asset class that the artist should own, right? So when they own that asset, we put capital into the projects. We license that work. He keeps the lion's share of that as we develop this. The Cadillacs don't pay for themselves, but at the same time, he controls that asset, and that's the relationship that we want to build.
Right.
You know, we looked at Trip's data early on, said we know the music is strong, the audience is there. How do we help talk to those folks? How do we set things up? And, you know, I think last week it was 3.6 million on that record when the project came out.
Well, the whole entire project or the particular song?
That's right. That was on that project, 1207 James, when it dropped. That's the first week, independent.
3.5 million streams?
First week. And you know, he continues to grow.
Don Trip, man, come on, man, I like that. So you founded Connect?
That's right.
How did you get funding for it?
Man,
I started.
He's a crafty individual.
Started with what I had in the bank, and started to attract capital. I have some fantastic partners that have joined in the company. From Memphis is an entrepreneurial city. It's the home of FedEx. It's where Fred Smith started FedEx. We're blessed and fortunate to have partners like Richard Smith, son of Fred. We've got unbelievable community of investors that came in early. They understood the vision. This is a black-owned business still today. You know, we grew the valuation of the business, you know, to 8 figures quickly. In a way that it allowed us to continue to keep investing in content and in assets and you know, you'll see over the next couple of weeks more releases that are coming out and announcements and partnerships, you know, even from our publishing division, right? Big X the Plug, we did that deal in July, I believe. This is a guy who's doing 20 million streams a week. And we wanted to make sure he had access to his earnings in the publishing realm, and so it's continuously making sure we're educating and partnering with people who we believe in, who we know have an opportunity to exceed where they are today, and make sure that they control their intellectual property. It's an asset class that should be leveraged, not sold.
There you go, man. That's George from Connect Music Group. Don Tripp is here. The new project is 1207 James Street. That's Mike Muse sitting next to Heather B. Mike Muse.
George, first of all, Don, love the story, love the conversation.
Oh, man, I appreciate it.
I'm such a fan of yours.
Indeed, I appreciate that.
Yeah. George, I have a question for you with the data. I'm always talking about AI and technology, and I always talk about the way that independent artists could be much more successful if they really understood their data. How do you incorporate like technology in terms of how only do you understand the data, but in order how to move the asset around the country, around the world, based upon what the data is suggesting?
That's right. I think you got it exactly right. First party data. Where's that person? What are they listening to? What's their skip rate? Is it active listening, or is it background music for them? Right? How do you capture that? And it's then how do you not overload the artist? There's some things that we see in the data that's important to us, not that important to Trip, right? So Trip what we need Trip to know is that there are 5 fans in Nebraska. Let's not do a 10-day tour in Nebraska. It's 5 people there, right? We should absolutely go to South Carolina. You're doing X percentage of your streams there. So it's taking, you know, large data sets and distilling them to actionable intelligence, right? Data is you got to turn it into information.
Another question I have, where you're curious about, a lot of these artists now are doing like 20 track albums, right? Trying to trick the algorithm of the streams. Like, what is your opinion and thoughts on that when it comes to trying to trick the algorithm versus being more strategic with the number of tracks that you have with the data?
Well, I think it's first you have to make sure you have an audience. 20 tracks is 20 tracks. If nobody's listening, there's nothing to trick, right? I think the most dangerous thing that artists do is a couple things: buying followers, right? Buying streams. We see
buy streams.
Oh yeah, and the streaming services and us as distributors, we see that in the data. We terminate those deals.
It costs more money to pretend to be rich than it does to be rich.
That's right.
Sway.
That's right. So you got to grow organically first.
Yeah,
you got to grow organically, and then I think to that point, I think this thing is
game is screwed up, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Shit, they buying streams.
You won't have some of that $5 billion too, but you got to get it the right way. We are far too advanced. Technology is too far ahead for you to go $10, you get 1 million streams. No, $10 is gonna get your music taken down. $10 is gonna screw up the algorithm.
Yeah.
When all the streams are coming from India and your music is you're a Memphis-based artist, those streams are not real.
I mean, and look at the residual effect it would have on your career.
Right.
Again, this is what I mean when I say it's more expensive. All right, well, you go and you got fucking 70 million streams, right?
Right.
And you an artist nobody's ever heard of. And then you go and do that show and nobody's there. Or you go and do that show and they all look at you like this.
Because they don't know you. They don't even know you.
Right. They have no idea who you are. The same way barbers communicate with barbers and, you know, radio personalities communicate with radio personalities and rappers with rappers, promoters do too. Mm-hmm. Promoters say, hey, well, I had booked so-and-so, and man, I fucking lost $60,000.
It was a dud.
That shit was ridiculous.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's right.
So who gonna book you next?
Right.
You know, that shit gonna spread like wildfire. You know, bad news spread much faster than good news ever can. True. And, you know, so you did all that. You spent all your money on fake followers. And, you know, if you bought fake followers and fake streams, you ain't stopped there. Your jewelry probably fake too.
The jewelry is fake too. You got fake friends because they believe you streaming well. They think you're doing good,
and you're the fake friend.
And you're the fake friend because you ain't who you claim to be. Oh man, the game is screwed up, Heather.
Yeah, Sway, I know. I already knew. I've been told you.
All right, look, we got some callers on the line. Don Tripp is here. This is a great conversation, man. Vinny is on the line from Maryland. Go ahead,
Vinny.
Vinny.
Yo, thank God it's a day, y'all. How's everybody doing?
Blessed.
Hey, man.
Excellent,
I couldn't dare complain. I'm alive.
Man, God, well, thank God for that, man. And I just want to put it out there that it was on this platform when I first heard Don Tripp spit, man, and it was a few years ago. And Don Tripp, I want to say thank you, man. I was going through some dark times, and your music pulled me out of that. And I love you. I love hip-hop. I love music. And I just want to say thank you so much. Now, there is something going on in my household right now, and I was hoping to see if you can answer. My daughter seems to think that you were talking about the letter to your son.
Yeah.
His name is Jaden.
Jalen.
And I thought it was Jalen. Thank you. Okay, so you killed that, right? Because we were having a fest about that. We were supposed to go
y'all arguing about in your house?
Yeah, man. So my daughter's name is Jaden.
Oh, okay.
Right? And I was going through the same thing with my daughters, and here I am. I got all three of my babies, and it was a tough time, man. So that music, when that came out, it sounds kind of weird. But
I'm proud of you for sticking to it, brother. I'm proud of you for sticking to it. I guarantee you them girls appreciate that more than you know.
Hey, Vinny, thanks for your call, brother. You're a super citizen, man.
God bless you.
Love you, man.
In the morning.
All right, let's go to Arizona. D is in Arizona. Go ahead,
What
D.
up, D?
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Indeed.
Caller, long-time listener. Just wanted to call and say what's up.
Sound like he said he's first-time caller and long-time listener.
Yeah.
But first-time caller?
Right.
Did he say first-time caller right there?
Yeah.
Right.
We got a first-time caller, y'all. We got
Yo, Don, like, what the hell just happened up here?
I know what this is. He's been on the show plenty of times. Right. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to let Mr. Clip know, or Mr. Two Clip Trip know, your music is very motivational. It's inspiring. I love how you talk about your family, but also, can relate to the streets and, just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. That means everything to me, brother.
Hey, D, you got to get the new project because it's, they doing it. This is autonomous operation right here. This is proprietorship at its finest. We talk about generational wealth. That seemed to be a catchphrase over the last 5 years. This is how it starts.
Yeah, true
right?
That.
Okay.
Yeah.
D, you're a citizen, man.
Sway in the morning.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
I appreciate
that was. He knew it was time to go.
Cut out.
Yeah, you saw how D responded after Heather said Sway in the morning. Guys, we do this. Scoop is in Miami. Scoop, what we talking? Scoop!
What up, Scoop?
What's up? Good morning.
No,
Hey,
we
hey.
love your energy. What's goody?
Hey, first of all, it's crazy serendipitous how Mr. Tripp is on the radio this morning. Me and my partner this past weekend, we was just sitting down talking about him, listening to the new album. Like, man, the 9th project this year, I hope it's this man time to just go. So salutes to you, King.
Hey, man, I appreciate that for real. I've been doing it for a long time, so to know people still stick with me, that mean everything for real.
Hey, man, thanks for your call, Scoop, and thanks for supporting. Did you really put 9 projects out this year?
Yeah, one every month.
How? Is that just your rate of creation, like creative?
Yeah, I ain't got nothing on the day. I got nothing. I go from scratch. We sit in the studio. I don't record unless I'm in the studio. I don't write music unless I'm in the studio. I've learned from doing this for as long as I've been doing this, I learned how to separate being a father and a husband now from being a rapper. I don't like I've recorded at home before, but I try not to make home my studio. Cause this shit two different worlds. Like that's another one of the reasons why I rock with Connect, because no pun intended, but because of that connection. Like when George is with his kid, I don't interfere, no shape, form, or fashion. Like I hit him a few days ago, and I can't remember what the fuck what I needed, but my guy Kedrick, he was like, at some point he was like, George is at Disney. I'm like, Disney? I'm like, George was responding to the message. I'm like, no, you know what? We gonna put that on pause. Enjoy the time with your kid. We'll rap when you come back. Whenever you come back, we ain't tripping on that. That ain't nothing. But that kind of shit, that's what mean everything in real time. He ain't no fucking volunteer work, and I ain't either. So we do this for that. So I kind of, like I said, I learned how to juggle the time. So when I'm at home, I ain't done Trip in no shape, form, or fashion, which is all that go back to like with the family member thing. If you call me Done Trip, then you can't be related to me. Now, in my family, well, I won't give that away, but they don't call me Done Trip. And, when I'm at home, that's I'm in that space. I'm dad, and when it comes to the music, like, I guess dedicate a certain amount of time to that, and I treat it like a 9 to 5. So every month every month throughout these 9 months, we go in the studio for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and when it comes to distributing, you got a deadline. You need to, and I sometimes I wait till that very day, but it's got to be turned in by a certain point. At some point it can't be past that day. So I work, and if we got 8 records by the time we get to the deadline, 8 records is coming out.
That's the album.
If we got 16, 12, whatever, that's what's coming out.
Yeah.
I don't believe in doing that 20 record shit. You do that shit. I won't say no names, so I won't knock nobody. But every record you ever heard that was 20 records, you ain't but 7.
You know what?
All the other shit.
That's right.
Okay.
That's
Don
right.
Trip is here.
All that shit was filler.
Yeah.
So, I ain't in it for that. These are, it was a point in time for a lot of people. It still is a point in time. But you going in the studio and you like these 7 records. Them 7 records really came from your heart, whether they was fun records or depressing records or whatever the fuck they were. And then from them 7 records, somebody came in and said, hey, you need a single. So now you in here trying to force that shit. And then he come back in and say, well, that single ain't really going to do it. So now you trying to force another one. For you got 20 records and
only 7 of them.
Right. 13 of them shits we don't even know on your tape. That shit might blow up 2 years from now. We're like, damn, I think I heard that before. Where that song come from? Right, because it was one of the 13 records nobody listened to, nobody really liked. And I ain't in the business of that. I ain't trying to provide you with the music because we got to get the music out.
Yeah.
I'm providing you with the music because the shit's in my head, and if I don't get it out of my head, the shit's going to clog. Yeah. So, that's what we in it for.
You on purpose. I love this. Don Trip. I know your real name, but I'm going to call you Don Trip. All right? You my family, too, man. Hey, brother, I love you, man. Come on, man.
Yeah,
you already know, man. Come on, man. Listen, this is great, and I so appreciate this conversation.
Indeed.
George, thank you for joining us in this conversation.
Thank y'all so much.
And you might want to look up Connect if you're an independent artist and you want to rise.
That's right.
Look up Connect.
ConnectMusic.com.
They take care of their artists, all right? I know Boosie, Don Trip, and all the other ones. It's just you're so hands-on. But congratulations on your success.
I appreciate you, brother.
You guys support this project, 1207 James Street. Normally I have him spit bars, but today he spoke bars.
No, I got you. I'm gonna make it work. You know how we rocking. I owe it to you. I think the last time I came, I didn't rap then either.
Okay, well
So
let's get Devin Haney in here. Let's get the champ in here because I want him to hear this.
You know how we rocking though. You know this shit gotta be acapella for me.
Okay, I got you. Come here, man.
Where you get this water from, Craig?
Get that man the water. Somebody get that man. Hey, Devin, man. Hold
Yeah,
up, man.
Devin.
Yo, the champ is here.
Bro.
Devin Haney is in the building. Hold up. I want to get him to come up in here. Yo, I want you to meet Don Tripp right here. Yeah, man. He about to spit some bars. I wanted you to witness this with him. You okay with that? Okay, man. He's serious. Devin is. Look at this, man. Bill, what up, baby? Bill Haney up in here too, man. Come on. We about to get this rich. Yo, this is Don Tripp. I know you brothers just came. Yeah. You know, and we about to sit and talk with these brothers. This is family right here. I just wanted to create a village right now while Don Tripp about to drop some bars. All right?
You know,
acapella.
Sway go put me on the spot. All right. You know, that's how we got here. All right. All right. I wasn't expecting that.
We got a hyena up in here!
No, I think that would be a coyote.
Okay.
But I just watched 8 Mile for like the 100th time. Reminded me of why I used to want to rhyme. I used to have hip-hop underlined. Now all I know is pounds like the number sign. No college education, it's no wonder why. Yeah, I'm dirty, but at least I'm still an honest guy. Prone to robberies and occasional homicides. We slang pies and die on the same corner side. We eating over here, nobody's on a diet. We sitting back, getting fat off humble pie. Even if I'm outnumbered, never running hide. Ready to open fire, stand in each other's eyes. The small thing called pride. The small thing called pride. Trying to make the dope money spread faster than a fire. The measures I go for my child. I'll go to hell and back, soaked in gas with a smile. I'm a bit under the weather, no sinus medication. I cure everything with cheddar. I got this bitch covered, mascara. We just call goons. We never call sheriffs. Guns get drawn, not even God can help you. Better pray for the guy on the other end of the barrel. I know niggas doing time and it's federal. They got the kind of sentences that don't come with letters. No girl, no outside world, just letters. Home in 50 years, the translation is never. They fuck with no grease or contraceptive. I'm 38 with no felonies. That's impressive. I'm ready to pop it off on who, when, and wherever. I'm shooting like I'm, shooting fast enough for me to win a gold medal. Turn the other cheek, whatever. That wasn't such a good idea. Ask Coretta. Real tears, I got none tattooed. You can't wait for no check once the rent's past due. Can't do shit but prepare for bad news. If we ain't gone in 30 days, they gonna have our ass removed. I got signed and got paid, yeah, that's true. But that alone doesn't make the shit cool. They just want a letter to my son, part 2. To them, it's a song. To me, it's a bruise. But nothing sells records like a nigga with the blues. You might think you understand, but you really ain't got a clue.
Tripp. Don Tripp. Shit. Man, bro. George, give that man a hug, man. You need some therapy, man. Help that dude out, man.
Hey, I might need therapy. I might have to name the next tape. I might need therapy.
Well, congratulations, man. That's always powerful. I love your acapellas. He's done acapellas for us for years.
Yeah.
Always powerful. I can't wait to go back and decipher it. The new project, 1207 James. Nah.
I already know. I know we rocking.
You know what I'm doing with it, all right? Man, congratulations to you, George.
Indeed.
ConnectMusicGroup.com.
ConnectMusic.com. That's right.
ConnectMusic.com. Y'all hit them up. Don Tripp, it's a pleasure. Always.
Always,
Let's
brother.
stay connected.
Blessings.
All right?
Indeed. Sure that.
Okay.